So this is the original copy of Final Fantasy XI Online for the PlayStation 2. I'm a big Sony fan, so even though I had a computer in the house, I just didn't even think to look for it on computer. I had to get it on PlayStation. And my mom said yes, and then we went to the store and found out that it had to come, it was packaged with the HDD. The PlayStation 2 didn't just come with an HDD back then, didn't have the space for a huge game like this that required so much. So, and it was hosted on its own operating system, kind of. It was called Play Online. You see the logos on it everywhere. So Play Online was a thing you logged into, and then you could play games. You could play the Tetramaster card game from Final Fantasy IX. You could play that online and trade cards, and it was actually a trading card game. And you could play Final Fantasy XI, and they had more games like slated for the Play Online system other than these Final Fantasy titles. They were going to branch out and add more. I don't know if they ever did, though. People didn't really like Play Online. They didn't like going through the side thing, but it also had a chat system, which was pretty cool, and chat rooms and kind of message boards, and you can make your own profile, and it was like Facebook kind of for the people playing Final Fantasy. So you didn't have to log into Final Fantasy XI to talk to your friends you made in there. You could actually stay out and trade instant messages and play online. So that was cool. So you open it up. At PS2, they always had room for your memory card in here. I've never used it. I've never traveled with my games enough, but there is a memory card holder in here, which is pretty cool. This is the disc to install Final Fantasy XI plus the Rise of Zilart expansion. And this is the disc for Play Online and Tetramaster. And by the way, Tetramaster costs money. Just like you paid a $15 a month subscription fee for Final Fantasy XIV, you paid a similar subscription fee just to play Tetramaster. Not a lot of people played Tetramaster. And yeah, my poor mom. My mom had no idea she'd have to buy a hard drive. She had no idea she'd have to buy me like a keyboard and stuff to talk to people with. She had no idea it would be a monthly fee. She had no idea of any of this, but she let me do it. I got away with it. And guess what? I brought it home. I brought my best friend at the time over from the other side of I've talked to her about her in videos all the time. I brought her over and I was trying to get it working and it wouldn't connect. It wouldn't go online. And it was just me doing it. Like, my dad didn't live with us anymore and stuff like that, and my mom wasn't super techie. She could figure it out, you know, like you do. You learn to figure it out. So I was just kind of doing it by myself, kind of with my friends' help to offer suggestions, but I was just like what was this? When did this come out? How old was I? 2001 to 2004. So I was between 11 years old and 14 years old figuring this out. And it turned out that some of the PlayStation 2s, even though they were advertised to go online, there weren't a lot of online games to test it. And so some of them, it was a lie. They didn't go online. They didn't have the proper bits. They were missing a bit. I don't know what part, but it turned out you had to send it in to get service to enable the online stuff to even work. So I think I ended up having to get a new PlayStation. I think my dad took my old one and they bought me a new one, I think. So this ended up being a really big investment. Really big. So when I got the new PlayStation, you know, I finally got to put this baby in. Also, this is the icon that used to be like the online play icon right there. This is all so nostalgic. You do not see this. And it's so heavy. This case is so heavy. And what we got here? We got the Final Fantasy XI quick manual, which is all about like billing and the fact that it's online. And it's got some screenshots of Play Online and how to use it. And it has information about the starting towns. And it has my original registration codes, which I don't even care about showing you guys, but whatever. Wow. Okay, this is a quick manual from the PC version because it also has the Chains of Promethea and the Treasures of At or Gone registration codes on it. So I must have tucked this in for my PC version. Oh, here we go. Here's the proper quick start guide for the PlayStation 2 version of the game. Here you go. And see, there's the logo for the HDD, the hard drive. And this one, this is not near as interesting, but setting up play on Play Online, how to chat, a billing FAQ, What are worlds in Final Fantasy XI? How can I give a quest item to a specified NPC? How do I equip something? What is healing? I can't talk in say mode. There's a monster in front of me, but I can't attack it. My character suddenly lost the ability to run. So many cute questions. And I mean, I had these questions. This is one of my first big video games, so I didn't have... The more video games you play, the more video game street smarts you have. So you know that the run button is either going to be R or slash or something like that just by playing a couple of them. They kind of get all the same. A lot of game mechanics transfer over. So you get the street smarts, but at the time I didn't have video game street smarts yet. So I needed that FAQ that was like, hey, my character stopped running, I don't know why. So yeah, where it all began. Yeah, and I was actually in and out of Final Fantasy XI, and so I met a lot of people. I met Liam, my husband. I met Lag Slider. I didn't meet Beefish till later, but I was in and out of it, and then I only reconnected with them kind of much later after being in and out and in and out. A bunch of stuff happened. One day I will make a PSA video and we'll get real deep, but maybe not. But a lot happened in this game. Just trust me. Okay, so this is my husband's Final Fantasy XI strategy guide. It is not in good condition anymore, and it's actually not my fault. But it's got big stat comparisons for all sorts of weapons and armor, explanation of the different races. Like, it's just stat trees. This is how they wanted you to play it too. It was a very Japanese game for the time, and so it wasn't about kind of what you thought was cute or fun. Like, now they have systems where you can make your armor look like whatever you want. It wasn't about that then. It was just the best stats. You must min-max. You must get the best stats. So Final Fantasy XI. And then we moved on to other things. Like the Xbox came out, and so we got Final Fantasy for the PC. We got Final Fantasy for the Xbox 360. Fun fact, I don't own my 360 anymore, but they wouldn't take this. You can't trade this in. And I believe service for Final Fantasy XI on the 360 has been suspended. It was suspended on the PS2 first, and then it was suspended on the 360. And then it's still going on PC. To this day, you can start playing Final Fantasy XI. Go for it. Sky's the limit. Here's the PC version. Nice and big, has all the expansions in it, almost. Including a Vanadiel Buddy Pass, invite a friend. Windows 2000 are XP required. 8.5 gigs free of hard disk space. 128 megabytes of RAM, a Pentium 3. Make sure you got your Pentium 3 to play Final Fantasy XI. And now we get in Final Fantasy 14. Now notice it does not say A Realm Reborn because it wasn't dead yet. This special edition copy, collector's edition, by the way, it's like 5 Bibles, is the original, the OG, the game that no longer exists. What you're seeing here isn't real anymore. It's gone. Now, I did unbox this in a collector's edition box unboxing video I made a very long time ago, but again, it was a very long time ago, so I don't know if you guys have seen it. So this comes with the game. So if you didn't get the collector's edition, you just got this. You got the game. This is a disc for the PC. It was not announced for consoles yet. Or if it was, it wasn't out for consoles yet. It never made this version of the game, Final Fantasy XIV Standard, did not really happen on consoles. It's got quite a big book with all the different races and everything. And the disc, still in pretty good condition, if I do say so myself. It came with a security token to secure your account, but that is not in the box anymore. It came with a birth certificate for your character, so that's pretty cool. And it came with a journal that has never been used. I feel like it came with more, and these are watermark pages with bows and concept art and weapons. Yeah, it's just different kinds of weapons are watermarking the pages. I'm going to hold it up, but I don't know if you'll be able to see it. It is a leather, like, hardbound journal with a little bookmark thing down here. Has Final Fantasy XIV Online on the cover. It has never been written in. Technically, this is Liam's. We only got one collector's edition because we are not made of money. And there might have been more that we just don't have anymore. There might have been a map. I feel like there was an edition that came with a map. So, at the time, we only had one computer, and this never came out for consoles. So we had to take turns playing, and Liam and I could not play together. And we were dying. We had our friends like William and Beefish that would play with each of us, whoever was online, and kind of make plans for the different people. But I think it got frustrating to have like 2 different plans with 2 different people, and you didn't know which one was going to be online. It was almost like we were the same person, but not. It's hard having 2 gamers in the house sometimes, and it can be expensive. But it was fun. It was different. You could, at that time, you could start the game as a craftsman. So you would start the game without weapons. You would throw rocks to attack. You were a craftsman. And you would have to do something special to change your job. So if you started as a craftsman, it was a really interesting life and a really special amount of difficulty because it still had story-based fights and stuff you had to do at the very beginning of the game, and you were useless. You were just throwing stones. But it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. So that game didn't turn out. Fans were not satisfied. There were a lot of negative comments. I gotta fix my babes. My babes are all over the place. Babes! So fans were not happy. I say that as I cuddle 4 Final Fantasy XIV plushies. Fans were unhappy, weren't they? Yes, they were. They were so unhappy. I'm so sorry. So they killed it. And if you look on the internet, you can find the last moments of the game and that they actually had a story play out and a reasoning for why the world was literally dying. Even in the story version of the game, even in the fictional world, they killed the fictional world. Every NPC you knew, your character, your friends, they died in the lore of that game. And so, Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn happened. This time, I got to get the collector's edition. And I got it for PS3. It was in the days of the PS3, ladies and gentlemen. So this collector's edition came with some in-game stuff like the baby behemoth minion, the Quirrell mount, the behemoth barding, and the Helm of Light. An additional content disc, The Waning of the Sixth Sun. I don't think I've ever put that in. I don't know what that is. There's a dog barking outside. I'm unhappy. So what happened was, in the literal lore, it says that something happened, the world died, and the realm was reborn. And no one remembers the Warriors of Light from back then. No one remembers the heroes. But if you had a character from the OG Final Fantasy XIV game, it's hard to pick this up. It's so hard. If you had a character from OG Final Fantasy, your character you made in A Realm Reborn has a tattoo. It's really cool. It's a tattoo on the small of, not the small of your back, because that's down there. The opposite of the small of your back, between your shoulder blades, there is a tattoo of a symbol. And it shows that you were an original Warrior of Light. And it is really cool. I mean, in MMORPGs, some of the item collection and stuff is like just to say you got it. Like, I beat this really hard dungeon just to get this item, just to tell you all that I got it. I did it. You didn't do it. It's real rare. We all have to admit, that's part of the fun of MMOs. And to have a character with that tattoo means so much. And is so cool. And there is literally no way to get it. You had to be in the old world. So that's really cool. But again, the lore is enforced that everybody died and all your friends. So, but everything got reborn and reset. And I'm going to go ahead and open this up. Again, I might have done this in a video already. So sorry for you that have been around for a while. You take that paper off. You get just the art, which is really pretty, by the way. It's super cool. Look up this art. Look up this art and admire it because it's real cool. So then, I'm sorry, sweet babies. I'm using their heads for a table. You open it up. We have the book. The Art of Eorzea, which is concept art kind of stuff. Here we go. Check it out. Weapons and characters. Gladiator, archer. Here's the town of Ul'dah, some NPCs and some backgrounds. Okay, I have, wow. Here's what a security token looks like. I think maybe I already had one or something. I think it transferred over from one I had before, so I didn't need this one. So this one has always stayed in the bag. So a totally unused, unopened security token that says A Realm Reborn on it. Has matching artwork. And then the actual video game with cool artwork. I like to see everyone at the tavern at the back. That's some pretty basic concept art that came out, but we were all happy to see. We were analyzing what the characters were. So, The Waning of the Sixth Sun is apparently a Blu-ray. I should probably watch it. I haven't watched it in all this time. I've never popped that in. I have homework to do. The game itself, all this art is really pretty. Rary, stop! You're making licking noises in my video. And then a little manual, a product registration card for the Square Enix members program. Stuff I'm not going to show you because I actually do still have my Final Fantasy 14 account. Unless they killed me, but I don't think they did. And I will probably go back at some point. So, no, I'm not going to show you. Also, we have everything else that was promised. Wow, I'm a bad fan. Okay, these are the art cards, and it looks like I've never opened them. So I'm not going to now. But art cards. And The Sounds of Eorzea CD. Again, the plastic is still on it. It has never been opened. What is wrong with me? I've never opened it. That's weird. That's weird for me. I open everything. I just told you how sad I was I couldn't open Black Rose. This is very weird for me. So A Realm Reborn was a whole new can of worms. I got into the alpha for this game. I got into the beta for this game. We still had one computer for a little while, but I think near the time this game came out, we got a second computer. So we were officially a 2-computer household, and Liam and I knew that we would finally be able to play together. We'd be able to play an MMO that we both loved together again and get hooked on the story, hooked on the friendships, hooked on the adventure together. So it meant a lot. We played this game with our friends that we met around the time I made the Neverwinter videos. We played with Beefish and William and Lagslider and all of our friends from Final Fantasy XI. All the folks from Final Fantasy XI came back for 14, almost all of them. I mean, we were so diehards. Final Fantasy XI was such a special game, even more special than this game. And I would need a lot more time to tell you why. And it wasn't just my experiences in it, but just the unique way it was crafted, and the way it was crafted to just make you feel you were part of that world, you were important to that world, you were a piece of that, and you could have a piece of that, kind of. So it was really special. So I think we've all been chasing that feeling ever since 11. We've been chasing the feeling of a game we can play together, of a game that makes us happy, of a game that makes us lose track of time, but in the end we're not upset about it. A game that makes us feel like we're there, that we are the warrior, that we are holding the sword, that we are protecting our friends, that every move we make matters. Because that's how Final Fantasy XI made us feel. And even some of us that weren't big geeks to start with, some of us, like I learned that Beefish isn't actually that geeky of a person. But we were all on equal footing in 11, and we were all equally in love with it, and equally lost in it, and equally had no idea what to do with ourselves in our real lives, and we're just totally torn asunder by this game. I think it was one of the first games any of us touched that ended up like invading our lives and changing our sleep schedules and all that. And your first touch of that and your first taste of that, you will always chase, and you will never get it. You'll never get it again. But we all came back for 14, even though it flopped the first time. Just chasing it again. And 14 delivered, A Realm Reborn delivered more than 14 did, thankfully. And we ended up playing it for quite a while. You can see some of our antics on this channel. I started making videos again about 14 and how much I loved it. I think I did some lore stuff or some news stuff. We made a website called House Que. Que is the noise a chocobo makes. We made a website to detail news and how to play the game and walkthroughs that we would make. We would put them in there. We just wanted to be about this. We wanted to be in this. And it was important to us. And even though like the website didn't end up going very far or anything like that, I don't know. I still made new friends. And I had a really good time. And I don't know. I played a lot of 14, enough that I felt a little burned out. So I have a scholar somewhere out there, and she's waiting for me to come back And one day I will, because they've been releasing lots and lots and lots of new content. It's so heavy. So heavy. Yeah, they've been releasing so much new content. And I own it for the PS4 now, the PS3, and the PC. So I've owned it multiple times, just like the other games. And I'm excited to come back to it when the time is right. And I probably won't go back alone. I'll make my friends come too. Because that's what these games are about. Yeah, and yeah, here's me owning it again. Heaven's Word, Final Fantasy 14. Here's the box just for Heaven's Word, if you've never seen it. It's just Heaven's Word. It's just it does not come with the base game. So you had to own the base game to get this. I won this. Sorry. It fell. I won this from Crunchyroll. Believe it or not. I said Crunchy really loud for some reason. They had a little, what do you call it? A contest. What's wrong with me? They had a contest about your favorite MMO memory. And like I said, boy, do I have a lot. So I wrote some of my memories down with Liam and stuff like that. And I even had old pictures and screenshots from Final Fantasy 11 that I attached. And they picked like 5 winners, I think. And I was one of them. So they sent me a copy of Heaven's Word for PS4. And they sent me a 60-day game card. This is a game card. They put it in a case. Let me see. Is it? Yep, there it is. It's in there. It has, I don't know why I put it back. Why don't I get rid of anything? It makes me feel like maybe there's still time on it. Probably not. There's a car beeping outside. I'm going to see if I have more time on this card, actually. Because I think this might have come with time. And I don't know if I use this or not. I don't know. Maybe it's expired by now. But thanks to Crunchyroll for sending this to me. They're not a sponsor or anything. I literally won it in a contest as a person, not as Chuba and Pal, just as me. So that got me back into the game after my first break. And I made a dragon-looking character. I forget what they're even called because they're very new. Or they were new to me at the time. And she's super cute. It's a cute game. It's a beautiful game. Some people I follow on Twitter retweet beautiful Final Fantasy screenshots that look like artwork, that look like photographs. So it's very cool. So yeah, Final Fantasy, big part of my life. All the games were. But the MMOs were especially important for the friendships I made, the real connections, the real stuff that happened in the virtual world. Just because, I don't know, I think real stuff can happen in a virtual space. I think YouTube proves that. I think Discord proves that. I think MMOs prove that all the time. Real stuff absolutely can happen in a digital space. And it's happened to me, and it can happen to you. Good and bad, though, so be careful. Be careful how you put yourself out there. And I think that's why these plushies and this gift is so especially special and important and something I will always cherish, because I did have those connections and because the Final Fantasy MMOs were so important to me and kind of still are. And I mean, you ask B-Fish to this day, are you still chasing that FF11 feeling? He will say yes. I think we just said it the other day. We're constantly trying to get each other to play new games. We buy new games to play together only to put them down after a day of playing, which makes us sound spoiled, but I think it's because our group is just chasing that very specific thing. And I hope we can find it again one day. I really can. I joked the other day that maybe we should just get into rock climbing or something and let it go. And find a new feeling, you know? So maybe we'll do that one day. Yeah, but I'm happy to keep going in January, to keep being nostalgic, to keep sharing stories, to keep sharing pieces of my life, and maybe I can hear about yours. Some of you may know that a year or two ago, I collected stories from you about what video games meant to you, because I wanted to make a vlog series about what video games mean to me, and also share your stories while I was at it, to kind of help show that video games can weave something deep into your life, something deep and meaningful. That's kind of what this channel is about, those kind of meaningful moments and connections with a game. And I hope, I know that I've gotten a little off course sometimes on the channel, and some people ask me to play their games and stuff, and I do that. And I will try to get back on course and try to keep conveying that feeling that I am here to share how video games like make me feel and how they touch my life, and in a good way, So I want to keep sharing that feeling with you guys, and I'm going to try to do that extra hard in the new year. That's why you're going to be seeing more multiplayer videos of me connecting with my friends over games and all sorts of things. I hope they make you laugh and smile. I hope they remind you of what video games mean to you. And if you'd like to share your stories, feel free to email them to me. Yeah, chew@chewvanpow.com. Yep, that's my email. So if you want to share your stories, so if I ever do get around to making that video one day, which I will, I mean, technically this is a start, isn't it? Like, this could be a part 1 of what video games mean to me. Part 1, the Final Fantasy MMORPGs. Maybe. Good title ideas. Let's just keep throwing ideas at the wall. But anywho, you can leave it in the comments to this video, or if it's a private story and you want to remain anonymous, that's fine. You can email it to me and let me know. Share your stories, and I will be sure to share them when I'm sharing mine. And this is a great, I guess, launch pad to finally do that series and go over some of the games I am most deeply connected with, and at the same time tell your stories. I am so excited, and it's something I've been meaning to do for a long time. Some of you have been checking in with me like, hey, you ever gonna make that video? And I am. Your stories mean so much to me. The reason it's taken so long is because I don't want to do it kind of willy-nilly. Some of you guys emailed me already and shared very personal, very heartfelt stories about how games attach to your life, how you attach to games, how you weave together and make something special. So I am not just going to toss a clip show out there or something. I want to do something special. I'm still kind of thinking about it, how to do it just right. But maybe this format, being kind of personal, being kind of just together, one-on-one, maybe that's the best way to pay respect to these kinds of stories instead of putting a bunch of bells and whistles on the video and fancy footage and effects. I don't know. What do you think? I'm up for those suggestions. Anywho, happy January, happy New Year, happy 2017. I hope yours has started awesome because mine sure has. And thanks. Keep tuning in, and I will try to keep sharing what video games mean to me throughout 2017 and finally get that series out there and connect with you guys. And again, send me your stories at chew@chewvanpow.com. Thank you again to Mr. Yellow for sending me these cutie beauties. Mwah! 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 I'm normally not like this with stuffed animals, can you believe it? But again, these are special. These are special. I have a beard! I have a plushy beard. Well, bye guys. Happy New Year. 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 Bye.